Hello and welcome to the Florida Peanut Podcast. Today we're talking about Earth Day, and in studio I have two wonderful people. I have Miss Kelly Aue from the Suwannee River Partnership. She's the outreach coordinator, and I have our fearless leader and executive director, Laura Fowler-Goss, joining me, Noah Walker, here at All Things Visual Marketing for another episode of the Florida Peanut Podcast. And like I said, we're talking about Earth Day. So we were just talking about, real briefly, some of the events that are going on here in this area. So take it away, Miss Laura. What do we got going on?
I'm going to leave the good one for Kelly.
Okay.
But just a quick look through my Facebook events. There's like yoga for Earth Day and nature hike trash pickups. I'm down with that, by the way. That's something my kid's totally into. And there's a seed exchange at Depot Park in Gainesville. There's some different Master Gardener programs at some offices. At the Eco Teaching Farm in Alachua, they have a whole festival, but it costs $5 to get into.
Wow.
So, tell us about the exciting Live Oak Earth Day event.
Yeah, so at the North Florida Research and Education Center in Suwannee Valley, that's based in Live Oak, we are having a community day at the farm. And what we're inviting families, we're inviting anyone that's in the Suwannee Valley to come to this free event. And we're going to have donuts, coffee, maybe some hot dogs a little bit later on.
Maybe some peanuts.
Maybe some peanuts. You never know. And so it's going to be, you show up for free, you learn about a bunch of different things, you get some free food.
Noah, have you been to the research center out there? I feel like I've been 4 dozen times, but there's parts of it like I've never toured the orchard.
Oh, yeah.
Have you been?
I've been once or twice. I've never really toured around the land, but I stand there in the middle of it and I stare in all directions and I'm always wondering what's going on over yonder.
Right.
And now it sounds like I'm going to be able to do that with a hot dog and a donut in my hand.
Yep, you will.
Pretty excellent.
Yeah.
So Kelly, so we're setting up a peanut booth with some kid activities, and we're going to have some peanut seeds that people would take home and plant and instructions for that. But what else is going on? Is it like signs and you walk yourself around and read the signs at the different places?
So we will have a map for you because we are on 400 acres. You won't see
I didn't know it was 400.
That's why you wonder what's going on over yonder.
But a lot of people drive by our gates and they think that we're doing something secretive in there, and we are not at all. We're just doing research to help farmers. And so we have a lot of different places on our property. We have an orchard, like Laura mentioned, we have blueberries and cold hardy citrus, and we have greenhouses. We're also going to do a trolley tour out into our field so you can see what's happening there. But we'll have people stationed at each of the locations giving a brief little chat and telling you all about. So if you have questions on how to grow tomatoes, we'll have somebody there that can answer that.
So it's quite educational. It's not just a tour of the facility. It's also a learning opportunity.
Yep, it is.
Is it for retirees or kids or
It's
who's the audience?
It's for everyone. We definitely want your kids to come because we think we have a lot of cool sciencey stuff that you can say that says
STEM.
Yeah, STEM.
It's a field trip.
Because we have an indoor hydroponic facility, like a smart garden that they can go in, and we control growth by LED lights, so it's super cool. Like we have a lot of really cool things happening there.
How cool is that? Yeah, this sounds way different than what I think of whenever I think of Earth Day. You think of soil and plants and stuff like that.
Or do you think of
but you also
trees
think
with
of
people's arms wrapped around them?
You think of dreadlocks, and you think of people who smell like patchouli and all that other stuff. So what
Why? Like that offends me a little bit. Like, okay, so Florida Peanut Federation early in April sent out a packet to all the elementary school teachers for fun little earth-centered, healthy environment, farming is good activities for Earth Day. So why is that a new thing? Why? I mean, how am I being innovative by sending out a coloring book that tells that peanuts put nitrogen into the soil and don't need as much water as other crops? Why is that new?
I don't know why that's new, but I think it's a great practice of reclaiming Earth Day. Earth Day is a great concept.
I don't even know anything about where it started or what. I just feel frustrated that when people think of Earth Day, they don't think of agriculturalists.
Well, unfortunately, I think that a lot of environmental talk, right, has been co-opted for political purpose and the movement of political dollars and political footballs over the years. However, when you think about environmental structure, nobody takes that more to heart.
Then the families making their
right,
living from
right.
it.
The people who use dirt, who use the environment to create something that they can take to market.
Turn rain and
have to do it
soil
over and over again.
into food for themselves and the rest of us.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, I agree. I agree. And I think it's a great opportunity. I think the Florida Peanut Federation is doing a great job, and I'm excited to go and see how the research center is working through a lot of things to help producers and really reclaim Earth Day as an agricultural event. I think that's really exciting. A lot of fun.
Kelly, you're in the business of saving the world through saving the environment.
Right.
What do you know about Earth Day? Thinking of your 27 years here on this earth.
Thank you so much for that.
How would you encapsulate Earth Day, and if you could modify that, what changes would you make?
I do think agriculture needs to be brought to the table on this, because we've discussed this before, that they were the first stewards, they were the first environmentalists of the land. They care about the land. They want the land to stay healthy and survive so they can pass it down to their next generations.
Yeah.
They want to be able to feed the world, and so we do need to be brought to the table a little bit more. I have to say, I was out of agriculture for a while before I came back to the Suwannee River Partnership, and the discussions that we had, back in the early 2000s versus now, farmers have done so much. Like they have done so many changes to really help become better stewards of the land, and we should celebrate that.
Okay.
I think if you think about the history too of farming, even the history of modern farming, from around World War II, and when the Dust Bowl scenarios got kicked up and the environment was literally torn apart, to the practices that today's generation of farmers put into place, where they're constantly rotating crops. They're doing what we were calling, or what you were calling, regenerative agricultural practices.
So trendy.
Yeah, so trendy. All of those great things that they're doing, and the way that peanuts fit into that, with the renitrification of the soil and all that good stuff.
Do you know, you may not know this, so there's one of my board of directors who is a gentleman of considerable wisdom through his life experiences over the years.
Gentlemen of considerable wisdom.
But he said, look at this. I can turn my pivots on and off on my cell phone. And he was so proud of that.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I kind of thought that was a 30-something deal. But to see that well into their 70s, they are embracing the technology to turn the irrigation on and off, that's pretty incredible. Like, that's not something to take lightly.
Well, good environmental practices are good economic practices too.
Yes.
If you think about that, the time that it might take him to drive out and turn those pivots off manually, and the water that's pulled and wasted, and the electricity used, and all that time, whereas he could just hit that button, cut it off
From
right
his
then.
easy chair. or a tractor in another field.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It's,
Time is money. Time is money, and its resources.
the one that I'm thinking about, he is shrewd enough to know that investing in his 15 minutes to learn how to do that is going to save him a lot of 15
pay
minutes.
dividends. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, that's
well,
cool.
not just save him time. It's going to save him gas. It's going to save him, again, that electricity pull. It's going to save him that water going out.
Carbon credits.
Money.
Yep.
Money. That's a good thing.
you said the word, and we talked about it a little bit before we started recording, regenerative agriculture. Kelly says it's been a thing for a little bit, but I've only heard it recently, and I tend to stay away from trends just because I don't look good in these tiered smock dresses they're having in stores lately, but I'm just generally not a trendy person. But I read that regenerative agriculture creates ecological benefits through farming. What does that mean? Is it something new? What does that mean?
I wouldn't say it's anything new, because farmers are very focused on soil health, and we're starting to do more practices to build that soil health. And to me, that's regenerative agriculture, because you're trying to bring in good microbiome. You're trying to create a good environment in the soil that's going to help you grow your plants or your crop of, whether it's peanuts or corn,
Right.
just better and a little less
No low
expensive.
tillage
Yeah,
kind of
low
thing.
tillage, and just And the cover crops also helps with, when we were talking about dust wolves, it helps with that soil erosion and
Cover crops and rotations.
Yeah,
and
rotations.
What they've been doing.
yeah, it's what they've been doing. I mean, you can go really advanced on that, but it's really hard to do when you have a large number of acreage. If you have like 5 acres, it would be super easy if you go to the extreme. But our farmers, that's what they're doing day to
Yeah,
day.
good. I'm glad to hear that from your perspective.
It's you kind of have to have a to really think about, in my mind, to think about regenerative agricultural practices. It's like going from a mindset of scarcity to a mindset of abundance on a piece of land, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the mindset of abundance says that there are practices that you can put into place that would keep that piece of land rolling healthy for a long time, over and over, and maybe infinitely into the future. Whereas the mindset of scarcity says we gotta strip everything out of it and build up as much and as fast as possible, rip that sucker dry and move on to the next one. That's what it means to me. So the regenerative is all about keeping abundance in that piece of land, which is pretty amazing.
Hey, so I found something. Y'all want to play a game? This
Let's
is
do it.
so impromptu. So I was Googling Earth Day things, and I came up with a list of fun things you can do to celebrate Earth Day. This is from kidsactivities.com. Want to give credit where credit's due. I've only read the first couple.
Okay.
So will y'all vote with a verbal thumbs up or thumbs down if you think this is a good way to
All
celebrate
right.
Earth
So we'll
Day?
say yes with a thumbs up or no with a thumbs down.
Okay, I vote no yes on the first one. So, but y'all have to have a concrete answer, okay? Ways to celebrate Earth Day. Visit national parks virtually. Visit national parks? Yes. Visit them virtually? No. I didn't know you could do that, though, actually. That's
I'm only
pretty
visiting
cool.
a natural park virtually if I'm planning to go there.
I don't know. There's part of me that's like, if you want your kids to learn more about other parts of the United States, maybe virtually it's a cost efficient way to do it.
Yeah. Easy. Easy.
I would like to go to them in person though.
Me too. Smithsonian Learning Lab. Resources available to teach amazing things. Earth Day has its own special area at the Smithsonian Learning Lab.
Interesting.
Yes or no?
I love the Smithsonian.
Is that in DC?
Yeah.
I think they've been there, so
Yeah.
Or
yes.
www. dot
Yeah.
Organize a neighborhood safari.
Wow.
Yeah, actually, that sounds fun.
That sounds fun.
Ending with a block party barbecue.
Yeah,
I'm
sounds like
down.
a great time.
There's a couple of people on my street, and I say to Matt, "Can't we have a neighborhood party?" And he's like, "No." But Earth Day could be the day.
Listen, the road that I live on, our barbecues are just family reunions at that point in time.
So, okay, start some seeds.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
That sounds good.
absolutely.
Create a play garden, for instance, a beanpole garden or fort. So I saw on Pinterest, I sent it to my mama. It's where you do a teepee style poles, and then you plant beans around the edges so they grow up the poles, and it
that's
create
cool.
like a
Sounds
little
like
hideout.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
So
too.
somebody with a small child, I'm planning
Or
a
a
lot
s-
of fun things to do with her. So yeah, 100%.
Listen, she's not big enough this year, but Shawnee could
Next
totally crawl into there
Oh,
and
for
read
sure.
a book and hide from y'all.
Listen, all these activities are just excuses for me to do these things.
Go
It's just an
paperless,
excuse.
yes or no?
On some things, sure. Yes.
Read nature books.
I love to read, so I'm more of a fiction type of person, but sure.
Okay, paper crafts, for instance, puffy paint picture of the earth on a paper plate.
Wait, I thought we were going paperless.
I don't know, I'm just reading the list from kidsactivitiesblog.com.
Not this year.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's a
that's
down. Create a recycling collage.
What is this? Like it's a
What better way to recycle or upcycle old magazines and newspapers than use them to create artwork?
Oh, interesting.
I've done that for school projects.
Yeah.
It gives me a little bit of
I
anxiety.
had to create a
think
vision
about
board
Yeah.
in school with those before. I'm gonna say no.
You're gonna.
Yeah.
Kelly's like, no.
Yeah,
When I'm
better
through with
use
my
of
southern
time.
living,
Better use of time, yeah.
I'm taking it to the doctor's
Yeah.
office. Upcycle plastic into sun catchers.
Oh,
Use a plastic box to create a sun catcher.
interesting.
Oh, with permanent markers. You
Oh.
cut it into a shape and color with permanent markers. Yes or no,
That's kinda
Noah?
No. No. I don't know what a plastic box. I'm not
Plant
sure.
a butterfly garden.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
sounds good.
absolutely.
Oh, I love that. Okay. Well, let's see. This keeps going. Oh, printable Earth Day coloring pages.
We don't want to do that.
What about
Some of this just sounds like busy work to me.
explore the globe?
Oh yeah.
Do you have a globe at your house?
Oh no, I'm like the globe. I'd love to explore.
Like traveling?
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll
travel. Sure. Yeah.
So the globe that we have that my little Anne Marie loves is from my childhood and it has some countries that don't even exist
Oh.
anymore on it.
Like the
which
Congo?
is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Or Zaire or whatever.
Oh, Earth Day bingo, where you put on it tree, flower, caterpillar, rainbow
Oh. Like you find those whenever you go
at
out
the block
exploring?
party.
there you
during
go.
the safari.
Okay.
Part of the
Yeah.
scavenger
During your
hunt.
safari.
You can combine the two.
Yes. Okay, recycle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Upcycle something you already have into something new.
Sure. Yes.
It's very trendy with women
Yeah, I know.
painting
It
yard,
doesn't-
yard sale furniture with chalk paint, Noah. Get on the bandwagon.
No, sounds like busy work again. I'll let Shawnee do that.
Okay, do a kitchen experiment about the Earth's atmosphere. 5 layers of the atmosphere. About fluids. It has like oil and dish soap and water in the picture I'm looking at. And they all stay in their layers.
Interesting.
I'm gonna say no, just because it sounds like a mess.
And it's going to waste all that stuff.
Yeah, you're gonna waste all that stuff. Come on, it's Earth Day, Laura. No paper, no. Upcycle that.
Okay, here we go. Make a bird feeder.
Sure.
Do y'all know how to make bird feeders?
Yeah.
No.
Get a pine cone, smear it with peanut butter, roll it in bird seed.
See?
Did this in Boy Scouts.
See? Okay, make Earth Day treats like dirt cups.
Yeah, sounds delicious.
Ah, I love dirt pudding with a gummy worm in
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. Okay, and we're closing in here. Make a mini ecosystem with a terrarium.
Sure.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
I did that for horticulture demonstrations
Yep.
when I was in school. How fun. Okay, so that's at kidsactivitiesblog.com. There was nothing on there having anything to do with farming.
Well, I
That's a
mean,
shame.
Yeah.
It really is. You could take and plant peanuts in your terrarium and see if it'll.
Like an ant
Yeah,
farm.
Yeah. Right, and watch it grow.
Ant farm peanuts.
Watch it grow.
Okay, so if I am a one woman show here out to transform the image of Earth Day, what are some takeaways that I can write down that y'all have ideas of?
Well, you had start seeds, right? So
Yeah, there we
that was
go.
agricultural.
And I'm down with the butterfly garden
Yeah.
because bees would be attracted to the same sort of
What you could do is
plants.
have someone design like a good regenerative agricultural practice garden.
If that's the hot word. Yeah.
So then you could have like, and Bob Hockmuth talked about this a little bit whenever he came on this podcast, project that he was doing where he had, I think it was sunflowers next to a certain kind
Tomatoes.
of
Tomatoes.
Yeah, tomatoes.
As a trap plant.
Yeah,
Yes.
where it would lure away the insects. So to do something like that,
that are home-based activities
Yeah.
that could lead into a broader thinking.
plant one with the other and watch how it works.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like it.
That would be
I
perfect.
like it. So what are you guys doing Saturday to celebrate?
I'm going to be working the community day at the farm.
Oh, good. Okay, so people can
I will
visit you there.
Yes, you can come see me. I'll be celebrating there.
And that sounds like a really good time. I don't know. We'll be doing something outdoors. I'm not sure what it is, but
Okay.
we won't smell like patchouli or have dreadlocks. We'll be doing something constructive outdoors.
If you hold your mouth just right, you may find some green peanuts, Noah. I know that's one of your favorite outdoor activities.
It is one of my favorite outdoor
I
activities.
mean, April 22nd is pretty early.
It
to be
is.
finding peanuts to boil, but
Well, sometimes you can find them coming up from South Florida about them. Yeah. Those Valencias. I like those little
Yum.
red Valencias.
delicious, delicious.
That's my favorite.
Well,
I
I
like
feel
all of
excited.
I'm excited too.
Yeah,
And I hope that everyone here now is excited and got some great things to do for Miss Laura and her list of of many magics on Earth Day. So thanks for joining us again for another episode of the Florida Peanut Podcast. We hope you've enjoyed it. We hope you took something out of it. And all of the information for Miss Kelly, as well as the Earth Day celebration that they're having out at the North Florida Research and Education Center for IFAS in Live Oak, will be in the show notes. Yeah, it'll be a great day.
He didn't even say Suwannee Valley.
Swanee Valley. It'll be a great day. You should join them, as well as some of the other events that Miss Laura shared. So we thank you for joining us again for the Florida Peanut Podcast. I'm Noah Walker with All Things Visual Marketing, joined by Miss Kelly Aue and our fearless leader and executive director, Laura Fowler-Goss of the Florida Peanut Federation. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day.